800,000 jobless Americans will be left out in the cold as of midnight tonight. No financial support. That's when the federal unemployment benefits extension will expire, which will cut off help to 800,000 Americans by the end of next month. It would be 2 million Americans at the end of next month. So the numbers are 800,000 tonight, and another tier is going to lose it at the end of December, which would be 2 million. Numbers, real people, real families. These folks will head into the holiday season not knowing if they're going to be able to make rent, put food on the table, buy a Christmas present for their kid. The list. It goes on and on. The Republicans are blocking a benefits extension as they cry about how billionaires need more tax cuts. It really is disgusting. There's no evidence out there saying that these tax cuts, this tax rate staying in place is going to increase the job market at all. The average unemployment check, keep in mind, is a meager $290 a week. That's chump change, isn't it, to this country when you think about Iraq and Afghanistan? But it could mean the world to a family facing desperate times. The word dignity keeps popping up in my head. Well, the Republicans need to get their head screwed on right, get their head out of the sand, and see what's happening in this country. Right now, unemployed offices are being, that's right, security guards are showing up to help deal with distraught people who are being left out and being left behind. So they're nervous. Calling security out to unemployment offices because they know how the people are going to react, but Congress won't do anything about it. The nation's largest food bank. Oh, yeah, that network says it's bracing for an influx of people once these benefits run out. And by the way, the food pantries in America, if you want to help in your community, in your backyard, just call your food pantry and ask them if they need anything. They're short all over the country. And I just don't think that the Republicans get that. They say jobless Americans are choosing not to work. Yeah, they like sitting on the couch, you know? That they just like to just live large on that $290 a week and suck off the government. These reverse Robin Hoods want to take the most from the people who have the least. This is the new America, while continuing to protect and defend their rich cronies. It's the skybox mentality. It's not what's happening down on the field. It's not what's happening on the goal. It's what's happening up in the skyboxes. Joining me now is Congressman Jim McDermott, a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. He's the chair of the Subcommittee on Income Security and Family Support and sponsored a bill to extend unemployment benefits. I can't let the story go. We've had you on before, but now we're in the 11th hour. 800,000 more people are going to lose their benefits tonight. The Congress did nothing today. Is that correct?
That's it. And the president had that meeting with them. He keeps making the same diagnostic error. He thinks that you can shame the Republicans. They have no ability to be shamed by children without food or people being thrown out of their homes or all the problems that come with unemployment. And so it's wasting your time doing that. The second thing is you've got to stop negotiating with yourself. Make them put something on the table. If they don't want to put something on the table, it's never going to pass. The president can't pass a law. It has to be passed by the Congress. The Democrats have put bills out there. It's been turned down by the Republicans. We may have to go through 2 million people without anything at Christmas time when people figure out what these people are really all about. The Republicans do not care.
And the president doesn't seem to push the hard line. Why does he have to turn to Geithner? Why does he have to turn to his budget director? Why can't the president just say, this is what we're going to do? The tax cuts are going to expire for everybody, but we're going to do something for the middle class. Are you in or are you out? Why doesn't he do that?
I have no idea. Sending Tim Geithner out to solve this problem, he's the guy that caused it, among other people, on Wall Street. And for them, those who have made all the money on Wall Street, to say, go out and solve it for the people that you put out on the street without anything, is simply, I can't think of a more unlikely person to come up with a solution to this problem, because he'll come back and say, well, I tell you what, we'll give 2 months of unemployment benefits and 2 years of tax breaks to the rich. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? And that kind of deal is not going to work. It's not going to get my vote.
The thing that is so damaging politically here, Congressman, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the Democrats can do this. They have the majority in the House, okay? And in the Senate, instead of the president using his political capital going over and twisting some arms trying to get some votes in the Senate, he's meeting with the Republicans saying, you know, everything's on the table, and I have commissioned a couple of guys to go figure this thing out with you guys. When we know all along that the Republicans are not going to, they're going to be unwavering on this. They will not capitulate on the top 2%. The corporate money won't allow them to do it. Am I right or wrong?
That's what Eric Cantor said today. He's going to be the majority leader in the next Congress, and he said, we will vote down a tax reduction for everybody if it's just for the middle class. It has to include the people at the top. So he's already set the stage, and there's no negotiating with a guy who makes a first and final offer and says, that's it. There's nothing on the table except take care of the rich. And that's what their first priority is. It's their second priority. It's their third priority, and it's their fourth priority. They do not care about the unemployed in this country.
Well, the numbers are very clear. For every dollar that is spent on federal unemployment benefits, it leads to $2 in economic activity. This is a composite study by the Labor Department. And so what is happening tonight and what's going to happen for another $2 million at the end of December means that 2011, for a good majority of Americans, we're talking about 20 million Americans that are affected by this. We now go into the heartless age of American history. We now are writing a new chapter. We've never done this before. We have never denied benefits at an unemployment rate at this level.
These guys act as though they never read the story of the Good Samaritan.
They haven't.
They walk by people and ignore them, laying there in the street with nothing. Not because they're lazy or because they didn't try, but because Wall Street screwed up the economy and they lost their job.
Congressman Jim McDermott, we've had you on the program numerous times talking about this. I want to thank you for not giving up on this story. I want to thank you for doing as much as you possibly can. And we should mention tonight what we're talking about doesn't even include the 99ers.
No.
It doesn't include the 99ers. And it's horrible. And we know that during the holidays, it's a tough time for a lot of Americans. Depression sets in. People do desperate things. And I think the fact in Mitch McConnell's home state of Kentucky, they are arming the unemployment offices speaks volumes. They know exactly how people are going to react to this. They know the hurt that they're doing, but they just can't let their skybox mentality go. They got to take care of the top 2%. If I may say it, it sucks.
They can't be shamed.
Good to have you with us tonight, sir. Thank you.
See you.